going to attempt to make contact with Randy Dyke at a nursing home in Calico Rock. He's supposed to be an employee out here. It is February the 12th, 2020 at approximately 10:05 a.m. Randy.
Yes.
Hey, can I talk to you a minute?
Yeah.
Mike McNeil, I'm with the state police. How you doing?
Oh, great.
Can I talk to you for about 5-10 minutes? Is that okay? I don't want to come in and cause a scene or anything like that. You're not in any trouble.
Okay, let me go tell them.
Okay, all right. You don't.
It's always great when the state police.
That's right. You just want to have a seat in the front.
All right.
Get out of this cold. You can hand me that down. That's fine, yeah. All right. Cool. Man, I appreciate you. So, let me start off by saying, there's a formality to everything that we do, and what this is called is a non-custodial interview. You're not being detained. You don't have to talk to me if you don't want to. You're not going to advise you of your Miranda rights or none of that kind of stuff. You're free to go at any time.
All right.
So you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Will you talk to me? I know you don't know what this is about, but I'm working on the Rebekah Gould investigation.
Okay.
Of course, this happened a long time ago, but some things have happened. DNA science wasn't the greatest in 2004, and of course, obviously, that's something that continues to get better over time. In the case file, one of the things that I have to do is I have to go back and look and see and find out what hasn't been done that needs to be done. Just to, there's a lot of boxes that need to be checked. Just to show that we're doing everything we can.
Never talked to me about it.
Yeah, I know.
I've been waiting on it.
Well, see, that's the thing, because when this happened, the information in the case file says that you were living with a buddy in Mount Pleasant and working at the flooring company.
No, I was in the Air Force.
You were in the Air? When did you go in the Air Force?
I was in the Air Force from June 2001, and I got out a month after October 2004. Because my mom called me telling me something had happened with Casey. And
hang on a second.
Okay.
You were in the Air Force from when?
From June 2001 to October 2004.
June 01 through
October 2004.
October 2004.
Yes, sir. And what's your name?
Mike McNeil. I'll give you a card before
right.
Let's see if I got one on me. I'll give it to you.
No, I hope y'all saw this. I'm getting tired of these people. Found my brother online.
And if you ever need to holler at me, just my cell phone's on there. Just call my cell. So you got out in October 2000. Well, when did you work at the flooring company?
Let's see. Right after I got out, I moved to Memphis. So, actually, I think it was a couple weeks after I got the call saying this happened with Casey and Rebekah, and I got out a couple weeks to a month later because I took a couple weeks of leave, because when you got leave left over, you get to leave a little early.
Right.
So I moved to Memphis, and I lived with my friend Michael in Memphis from October to around summertime. I don't remember what month. That's when I started. I moved in with Chris and Kim McCullough, my brother.
Hang on a second. Lived in Memphis October of 2004 through...
That summer at some point.
Well,
2005.
Okay. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So
calculated for like 8 months. I lived
8
in Memphis,
months.
somewhere around there.
You got out in October of 2004 and moved to Memphis, and lived with who?
In Memphis?
Yeah.
Michael Ott.
Michael Ott. O-T-T, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So, when you lived in Mount Pleasant, who'd you live with? When was that? When was you living with a buddy in Mount Pleasant?
Oh, that was way after that. My 2010 for a few years after that.
Okay.
Now, I did live in Mount Pleasant while I was going to school from like 2009 to 2010 as well, in an apartment.
Okay.
But actually, I did live in Mount Pleasant with Chris and Kim. They lived there. I don't remember the exact dates, but it was like 2006 maybe. In a house in Mount Pleasant. I don't know the exact date. I'd have to really
Mount
think
Pleasant with
about
Chris
it.
and Kim in 2006, you think?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Well, it was 2006 because it was my first semester at Ozarka.
Is that when you was working at the flooring company?
Yeah, for a little bit. Then summer 2006, August of 2006, I started Ozarka. And I think I lived with my dad in that trailer a little bit after that. And then I got a place in Mount Pleasant. I lived in Batesville for a few months in an apartment there.
Right.
Moved around a lot.
So in September of 2004, when this happened, where were you stationed?
Clovis, Cannon Air Force Base, Clovis, New Mexico.
Cannon Air Force Base, Clovis, New Mexico.
Yep.
Okay. 100%.
100%.
Okay. Had you ever met Rebekah?
Nope.
Never even met her?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a call from my mom. I don't remember if I had my cell phone or it was I think I had a cell phone at that time. And she left a message saying something had happened with Casey, and I thought maybe he was hurt or worse. But then I either called her back or she got a hold of me and told me that he was being interrogated for she was either missing. I think they had already found her, saying that he was a suspect and they were interrogating him, and that's how I found out about it. So long ago, so.
Yeah.
But I do know I was in the common area, the dorm. I was actually getting ready to go at that time, but I was getting discharged, and I was actually watching some of the airmen that were in trouble, making sure they were doing their jobs, cleaning up and painting the dorms.
Right. You remember when I know it's a long time ago and it's probably not a reasonable question, but you remember when did you return to Arkansas? I know you said October of 2004.
Probably at the end of September or the beginning of October. I had like a week or something left on my leave, so you get to take that. It's
Yeah.
like terminating.
Did you go to the funeral? Or any of that kind of stuff?
Rebekah's?
Yeah.
No. I didn't know her.
Yeah.
And really, I hadn't talked to Casey in forever, probably.
Right.
I mean, I talk to him all the time now.
Right.
Close him out. I mean, of course, never talked about the military, really.
Right.
So,
Okay.
and I think at that point, Casey was, to himself pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he was in contact with a lot of us at that point. Yeah. But no, I don't know the exact date I came back to Arkansas. I do know that it was after all that.
Okay. All right. Well, one of the things that, like I said earlier to you, back when this happened, DNA science was not very good.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it has advanced tremendously over the years.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, we think that we have the DNA from whoever did this. Yeah, it is good. But one of the things that would be reasonable for us to do is we need to go through and we need to collect DNA
Mm-hmm.
from everybody that was in connection or relation to that property.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
understand that.
so I'm just going to ask you, would you be willing to provide your DNA?
Yeah.
You don't have a problem with that?
No.
Okay. I've got a
I did
form.
live there for a long time, though, when I was a kid. Or
Yeah.
about 15 to 18. And a little bit after I came back.
Right.
But I have no problem with it.
Okay. So this form reads, I, Randy Dyke, authorize.
Actually, my name's Carl. So if you want to put that to be my legal name, Carl Randall Dyke.
C-A-R-L?
Yes, sir.
C-A-R-L. Carl Randy Dyke.
Randall, R-A-N-D-A-L.
Okay, that's fine. Authorize Special Agent Mike McNeil, who has identified himself as a law enforcement officer with the Arkansas State Police or other law enforcement officers and or medical personnel that he or she may designate to assist to obtain a genetic sample as indicated below for the comparison to forensic evidence as part of the criminal investigation being conducted by the Arkansas State Police. I'm gonna do a cheek swab on you, and if you put your initials next to that X for me. The second paragraph reads, this form has been read aloud to me and or I have read to myself. I understand that I have the right to refuse to give a sample or samples and to limit and or terminate the giving of samples at any time. I am giving my consent to obtain this sample voluntarily, and no promises or threats of any kind has been made to me. No pressure or coercion of any kind has been used against me. I also understand that I have the right to consult an attorney before providing a sample. Sign right there. That X is. Put the time as 10:20 a.m. And this is the what nursing home is this?
White River Healthcare and Rehab.
White River Healthcare. Calico Rock. So, you got back after this happened. Did you, at that time, spend time at the trailer with your family? Because when your dad was interviewed, back, and he made it sound like, obviously it was a very hard time, and that his boys, several of his boys, come and stayed with him during that period of time. Would you have been one of them boys? You remember?
Not right afterwards, no. Because I was in Memphis. And I really didn't come down. I mean, I would come down to see him every once in a while, but
Yeah.
I was mostly staying in Memphis.
Okay.
I just ate an orange. Is that gonna affect?
No, that's fine. You don't have a dip in your mouth or anything, do you?
I know y'all had come and taken some carpet at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that was before I was staying there for a little bit. Yeah. But I'm like 100% sure on the dates, not the exact dates, but I was living in Memphis until that summer. And I did come visit a few times, but I didn't really stay.
When was you in the Fort Smith area?
Fort Smith area.
Didn't you? I want to say that it was whenever I ran. I believe it was you that you had a forgery charge out of Washington County in 2004.
That's not me.
That's not you.
No, I've never been arrested in my life. So.
Well, just because it doesn't mean you were arrested.
Yeah. No, I don't know why I'd have a forgery account in Fort Smith. I drove through there a couple times, but I never stopped there or anything.
Have you ever been charged with anything while you've been an adult?
Nope.
Speeding tickets, anything?
Oh, speeding tickets, yeah.
Speeding tickets?
Yeah.
But nothing criminal?
No.
Okay.
Nope. The worst trouble I've ever been in, I got caught shoplifting when I was 12 years old.
Where was that
All
at?
the cops. and that was in Baytown, Texas. And my mom got called up there, and I was bawling, and they took my picture, put it on the window, and they said, don't do it again. And so I never did it again. But no, I've never.
What's your date of birth?
Charges 12/9/1977.
Just open your mouth. Let's see. That number for you, 870-321-7562, that's a good number for you?
Yes, sir.
And your current address?
Well, I'm about to move, but right now it's 43.
Where are you moving?
In Batesville, just a little bit. It's a house instead of an apartment.
Okay.
It's 4323 Harrison Street,
Okay.
apartment 28, Batesville, Arkansas.
Yeah. Where are you moving to?
I think it's 480 College Heights Road in Batesville, Arkansas. It's either 480 or 840.
College Heights Road,
Yes, sir.
Batesville, Arkansas. What vehicle out here is yours?
That Ford Ranger on the end there.
Okay, silver one?
Yeah.
Do you have any theories on this thing, man? Yeah. What do you know about it?
Well,
From
I know that. Okay, let's see here. I hear that. Well, what Casey's told me and what I've heard and read, that Casey dropped her off or she dropped Casey off at work on a Monday morning at Sonic, and she then drove back, stopped at the Possum Trot. Apparently some of there knew her and ID'd her. Then she went back to the house. She's supposed to, I guess, take a nap and then meet up with her sister Danielle at I guess noon to drive back to Fayetteville to go back to school. Well, she never met up with her sister, and Casey, I guess, went with his friends to Batesville to watch a movie. Stayed the night there, and then got a call sometime that night, maybe saying that she was missing. I'm not aware. He says that he didn't have his truck.
Yeah.
My dad, I'm guessing, had it in Batesville because I guess his vehicle wasn't working at the time. I'm not sure about that. I'm not 100% on that. And then I guess Casey was going back to get his shirt, and then I guess driving back to work, he got stopped by Charlie Melton, a deputy.
Yeah.
And telling him that Rebekah's missing. So they went back, and upon deeper search of the trailer, found blood and all kinds of stuff. And then the search went on. I guess I don't know when they started questioning Casey. I mean, he's a boyfriend. Of course, you're going to question Casey.
Right.
And they didn't find her till a certain amount of days later in that overlook
Yeah. Right.
on the way to Mountain View on Highway 9. But I mean, I know quite a bit because I'm researching. I want my brother, and he's going through a tough time, even though he just, I mean, it's tough because there's people on Facebook, which I've been on there defending them, and I've quit lately because it's just useless.
Right.
Because
they're
gonna, like, if they knew I was in your car right now, someone drove by, oh my gosh, it'd be on there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's ridiculous. I've talked to, what's his name? The other investigator. I called him about some guy that was stalking us, kept on messages on Facebook, and then I talked to him a little bit about...
Was it Dennis?
Dennis, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's another Dennis guy that kept on stalking us, asking us questions. So I reported him to him, and other Dennis guys recently apologized.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's just because he wants me to talk to him. That's probably what it is.
Right.
But yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, theory-wise, I don't know. I mean, I don't know these people. So, like, the Chris guy, I mean, he sounds like a bad dude, but I don't know. I heard about maybe he crushed his car right afterwards. I don't know if that's true. Sometimes I want to think that I've heard bad things about Larry Gould, and like maybe he had something to do with it, because I really think that when he's on TV and he cries, I don't want to sound insensitive here, but I mean, everybody else is to us. He sits there and cries, and it sounds rehearsed to me when he does it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say he's a grieving father. I don't want to say,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I mean, it's all fair game. If we're all fair game, I mean, you got to look into everybody,
right?
Because this is 15 years now?
16.
16 years now?
Yeah.
I mean, I want this solved. I want this solved.
Yeah.
Not just for her, but for my family. It's just...
Well, we're trying.
I know it.
It makes it hard.
They talk bad about y'all, too. And I'm like, these... And then they'll be like, oh, support the blue, you know. No, you're not supporting the blue. You're talking bad about them. You know, the investigators are still police.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, man, I appreciate your time. I'll let you get back in there.
All right.
If you got my number, if you think of anything, or, sometimes things like this kind of,
if you have
spurs
any
your
questions
memory.
that you think of, call me up.
Okay, man. All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good day.
You too. Concluded approximately 10:30 a.m.